Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by the following. Indiana University's Center for Applied Cybersecurity Research, presenting Security Matters, with tips for improving online security in 3 minutes or less. Main Source Bank, headquartered in Greensburg, Indiana, offering products and services to fit every stage of life. More information at mainsourcebank.com. Main Source, life needs a great bank. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Smithville Communications, serving Southern Indiana with high-speed fiber gigabit internet. Smithville Fiber Gigabit Technology. Tap the power.
And by WTIU members. Thank you.
Coming up on Indiana News Desk. Open enrollment is beginning for the Federal Health Exchange, and officials are hoping for a smoother enrollment period than last year.
Now we learn from whatever mistakes or things we didn't do that we're going to move forward, and we can only get better with time.
We'll explain why there are hundreds of more health insurance options in Indiana this year and what that means for consumers. The average single mother in Indiana spends 27% of her paycheck on childcare.
We have an incredibly tight budget. Our daycare costs as much as our rent every single month.
How parents are getting by and what assistance is available to help them make ends meet. These stories and a look at this week's top headlines.
It's a small community, everybody pulls together. That's just what we're going to do.
Right now on Indiana News Desk. Hello, I'm Joe Wren, and welcome to Indiana News Desk. Starting tomorrow, Hoosiers can once again sign up for health insurance on the federal marketplace. 132,000 Hoosiers and more than 7 million Americans signed up for insurance on healthcare.gov the last time around, from October to March. This enrollment period is shorter, 3 months, giving the uninsured a chance to get covered, and those with insurance a chance to shop for better plans. Gretchen Frazee reports on what's changed since the marketplace went online 1 year ago and what Hoosiers can expect in the coming year.
Jay Horry is an associate attorney in Bloomington and had health insurance until a couple weeks ago. Anthem sent him and about 30,000 other customers in Indiana a letter this summer saying they were no longer offering certain health insurance plans because they didn't meet the requirements of the Affordable Care Act.
It said that if I could do nothing and it would automatically roll me over into an equivalent policy, but my rates were going to go up by about 3 times what I was paying.
Horry is now looking to sign up for insurance on the Federal Health Exchange during the open enrollment period that lasts from November 15th to February 15th. He won't qualify for subsidies, but he's still hoping he'll be able to find a cheaper plan than the one Anthem was offering.
I'm in fairly good health as far as I can tell, so save for any unforeseen event, I should be okay. So that's what I'm just trying to probably go for, the catastrophic insurance, and cross my fingers.
Horry is one of about 2 million more Americans expected to sign up for insurance on the exchange in the next 3 months. That's why certified healthcare navigators across the state are preparing for an influx of requests from people who need help signing up for insurance.
I'm preparing folders for consumers and scheduling appointments and trying to get the word out there that we're here, we're ready to help, and we're available.
Questions we've been asked are, of course, is the website going to work? Those concerns. So just kind of the jitters from the first year of going through it, and the concerns of, are there going to be more options?
There are a lot more options. Last year, there were 4 insurance providers offering 278 different plans. This year, 5 more insurers have joined the market, and the number of plans has jumped to 975. Janae Green says that means a lot more educating needs to be done, and not just for people who don't have insurance.
We're encouraging everyone, even if they applied last year, to make sure that not just to auto-renew, but to make sure that they look through all the plans, because there may be some other options that will afford them a little bit more insurance than what they had last year.
Officials with the U.S. Health and Human Services Department say even though it might take a little more time to shop around for health insurance, more options is a good thing.
The statistics historically have shown that the more providers you have in an area, the more competition price-wise, and that helps keep prices lower for consumers. So it is good news for consumers on cost, and it's good news for consumers on choice.
Even with the competition, health insurance costs are still going up, just not as quickly as some expected. The base rate for premiums at Anthem, for example, increased 10% this year. 2015's rate increase is much lower.
Our base rate increase was 2.5%. So that's, with all the different factors and all the different changes, that was a pretty good base rate increase. However, for the average consumer, it may look different than a 2.5% based on the way subsidies are calculated.
And making sure your subsidy is calculated correctly is key. Healthcare experts say the 132,000 Hoosiers already enrolled in the marketplace need to update their financial information to make sure they get the right subsidy. Otherwise, they could be overpaying or getting too much of a subsidy and have to make up the difference on their taxes next year. Anthem Vice President Joe Gilbert says that's just one of many aspects of the federal exchange that are still complicated. But he says it's better than last year, and it's all part of the learning curve.
We're in an interesting time now of transition. This is last year was the first year of healthcare reform, that was really applicable to the average consumer. So we're going to be in a period of time where there'll be a lot of transition in the market. There'll be different carriers that come and go based on their ability to manage the risk. So I think we're just starting down a very interesting path for the average consumer.
Average consumers like Jay Horry, who says despite the complexity in the marketplace, his goal over the next 3 months is simple.
I'm sure it won't be the easiest thing I've ever done, but at the end of the day, I think it's something that it's what you have to do.
Like this past year, there's a penalty for not getting insurance, with a few exceptions. The penalty for 2015 is $325, up from just $95 last year. If you don't have insurance, that fee will be tacked on to your 2015 taxes. It's been more than a year since the exchange went online, but it's still very complicated. So to delve into this a little deeper and answer a few more of our questions, we're joined by human resources and healthcare expert Chris Schrader. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's hard to believe. I think it was about a year ago we were talking about the website, and it was starting to blow up. And you were talking, I think you said it's sort of like untangling Christmas lights.
Yes,
it's a great analogy for this time of year. What's going to happen this time?
I hope it performs a lot better. The expectations are certainly there. Let's face it, it didn't get launched properly, and there's nowhere really to go but up at this point. There's an expectation that it will perform very well. Significant investment, time, and finances were made in improving the site. There are fewer screens for someone to go through. There's going to be a separate path for people renewing to go down, so they won't be colliding on the same traffic path with new people coming in. So we're all hoping for a far better experience than last year.
We have numbers from a recent bank rate survey. They asked people who got on the exchange last time around whether they plan to shop on the exchange again this fall. 43% said yes, but most, 51%, said no. Why do you think so many people said no?
I think it's largely because last year's experience was so searing. When you think of how many hours people had to spend, by the time they finally got through, it was such a negative first experience. It's human nature not to try to chase a bad experience again. When you couple that with the fact that HHS has notified everyone that has a marketplace plan that if they take no action whatsoever, they'll simply be re-enrolled in their existing plan. You put those two together, it encourages inertia. My concern, however, is that too many things have changed, and it would really be a bad idea to just auto-enroll. Your plan could have changed in this fashion. The price didn't move, but the providers within it did. So your doctors aren't in it anymore, but you don't know because you didn't look. There could be a lower price plan in the marketplace that could affect your subsidy, but you don't look, so you don't know.
We know Indiana still, though, has thousands of people who are not, who are uninsured. Do you venture to estimate how many of those are actually going to go ahead and jump on?
No, I really don't, and it's hard to tell. There are significant penalties this year. Last year's penalty for not having insurance was not as steep as it is this year. So HHS is hoping that that increased penalty will spur people into the site.
And it just seems like things are constantly changing. Will we start to see some normalcy with this program here soon?
I'm not sure we know what normal is, and so trying to project that is difficult. If the site stays up, if people can't get onto it, if the screens move, if it doesn't collapse, I think a lot of the angst around enrollment will calm down quite a bit. Getting the number of people into it that you need and getting the right number of people in the ED is very important. Last year was all about enrolling the people who were sick and needed it right away. You were able to bring in people who were paying for individual insurance policies, got canceled. This year it's about healthy people. You miss the number and don't get the healthy people, next year's numbers become pretty rough.
All right, thank you very much for being here today. Now for headlines, we go over to Alex Dirkman, who has the latest on this week's top stories.
Thank you, Joe. 6th District Indiana Congressman Luke Messer is moving up in the GOP. Messer has been elected to head the 41-member GOP Policy Committee. The position is 5th highest ranking leadership post and gives Messer a seat in meetings with House Republicans' inner circle. The Indiana University Police Department is expanding its usual patrol to include areas 2 to 3 blocks off campus. The announcement comes after 2 women were sexually assaulted at gunpoint in their off-campus residence early Sunday morning. The IU police chief says it is her department's duty to keep students safe.
The downtown area looks significantly different than it did even 5 years ago. So I think just the fact that IU feels responsible for their students, especially when they're on campus. But when they're off campus, we'd like to assist city in just expanding our patrol areas to cover more of the student housing that's close to campus.
3 men from the Indianapolis area were arrested in connection with the assault. They face more than a dozen felony charges. LaPorte County officials are reaching out to government leaders in other counties along the Indiana Toll Road in an attempt to take over the road's lease. The current leaseholder for the toll road filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in September. The LaPorte County proposal would require 6 northern Indiana counties to create a nonprofit corporation that would then submit a bid on the existing lease agreement. Indiana's Family and Social Services Administration is accepting applications from providers interested in participating in the state's pre-K pilot program. The state picked 5 counties earlier this year to participate in the program. Those were Allen, Jackson, Lake, Marion, and Vanderburgh counties. In order to apply, preschool programs in those counties must rank in the top 2 tiers of the state's quality rating system. The FSSA plans to release information on how individual families can receive scholarships next week. Columbus Mayor Kristen Brown will have a primary challenger next year if she runs for a second term. Republican City Councilman Jim Lenup is announcing his candidacy for mayor tomorrow morning. Brown has made several controversial decisions since she took office, such as demotion of the Parks Director, which then led to 3 Parks Board members resigning. Lenup says he's running to replace Mayor Brown because he thinks Columbus deserves better. And in Indianapolis, former U.S. Attorney Joe Hogsett has formally announced his candidacy for mayor. Hogsett called for a boost to police force and a renewed focus on community-oriented policing and says the city must address what he calls an expulsion epidemic in Indianapolis schools. Hogsett faces a Democratic primary battle with Indianapolis Representative Ed Delaney. Indianapolis Senator Jim Merritt and former Senator Murray Clark are also considering entering the race on the Republican side. Amtrak is hoping to maintain operations of the passenger rail line from Indianapolis to Chicago after negotiations broke down between the Indiana Department of Transportation and prospective operator Corridor Capital. NDOT was looking to Corridor Capital to take over operations in February when Amtrak's contract expired. An NDOT spokesman would not say why the negotiations ended, and Corridor Capital officials say NDOT didn't tell them why they were cut off. Last month, Amtrak began offering Wi-Fi and limited food service in an effort to prove it could successfully improve the Hoosier state line. The cold temperatures sweeping across the state might be good news to farmers who are still harvesting their fields. Freezing temperatures mean farmers can use equipment on their fields without worrying if the ground is too wet. This year's wrap-up is expected around Thanksgiving because of heavy rainfall earlier this season. Workers at the Bloomington-based co-op Blooming Foods say it could take months before they reach a collective bargaining agreement after employees voted 88-23 in favor of forming a union this week.
The push to unionize started in September after employees said management hadn't addressed their concerns. But after some back and forth, the Blooming Foods management said they would remain neutral on the issue. In a statement released Tuesday, Blooming Foods general manager says, "It is time to move forward with our relationship with the employees' newly elected representative and to make our co-op even better." Blooming Foods employees say the next step is to start working toward a collective bargaining agreement.
There's 243 people, so we really have quite a lot of conversation. We've sent out surveys for people to fill out in terms of what they'd like to see in the contract, and we'll be holding several meetings to discuss with staff what they'd like to see in the contract.
Union organizers say instead of taking a hardline approach, they plan to work closely with the store's management to address employees' grievances.
A study committee made up of Indiana government and business leaders wants the General Assembly to mandate the elimination of part of the state's business personal property tax. The legislature passed bills in its last session that give local governments the options of eliminating the business personal property tax for new purchases and exempting small businesses from that levy. The study committee is proposing making the small business exemption mandatory. And small businesses in the town of Lagodi say they're already gearing up to rebuild after a fire tore through several buildings in the downtown square. The fire started Wednesday and destroyed as many as 6 businesses. No one was injured. Officials say the fire broke out at a t-shirt shop, then spread to a flower shop and beauty salon.
I got a phone call from the lady that works for me, Becky, and she was screaming, saying that my store was on fire, and I was here within 5 minutes, and the windows, it was this fire coming out the windows, and it was horrible.
The state fire marshal is investigating the scene to identify the fire's cause. But Joe, people say they're binding together to rebuild as soon as they can.
Sure. Thank you, Alex. Coming up next on Indiana Newsdesk. Some parents are paying as much for childcare as they do for rent. We'll talk to one mom who says making sure her son has a good preschool is worth the cost. And the Kinsey film celebrates its 10th anniversary, the impact it's had on Bloomington and research on sexuality. These stories right here on Indiana Newsdesk.
Frontline provides me with information that makes me think.
First I shout at the television. You gotta be kidding!
You won't see this anywhere else.
The stories hit close to home.
Truth is a very valuable commodity.
They're uncompromising.
I want to do something. I want to take action.
It changed the way I actually live my life.
It lets me make up my mind.
I trust it.
When I watch Frontline,
it makes me angry and it makes me want to voice it.
I want to make a difference.
We can make a difference.
Frontline.
These guys are my heroes.
PBS kicks off the weekends with Charlie Rose and America's top newsmakers on his new series, Charlie Rose, The Week.
Some people say, well, Obama was this raving liberal before, now he's, Dick Cheney.
Recap the week's biggest stories and Charlie's best interviews.
You feel there's this incredible synergy between the audience and the performer, and time slows down.
And get a look at the week ahead. Charlie Rose, The Week. Check local listings.
Welcome back to Indiana Newsdesk. I'm Joe Wren. Being a parent is stressful and expensive, especially if you're a single mom. According to a recent study by the Hamilton Project, the average single mother in Indiana spends 27% of her paycheck on childcare. Barbara Harrington joins us in the studio with more. And Barbara, that's quite a chunk of change.
Well, it is, Joe. Childcare is actually the largest expense for most parents, but the crippling cost is especially difficult on single mothers. In order to work, they need someone to watch their kids, but only have one paycheck to cover the cost of care. Experts say that dilemma creates a vicious cycle, one they'd like to see the government help break.
Once there were 2 color kittens with green eyes.
Samantha Allen and her 2-year-old son Jonas spend a lot of time at home.
The Tickle Monster? Is it the Tickle Monster?
They use their imaginations to take them places their budget can't.
We don't get to do any fun stuff that we'd like to do. We don't get to travel. We don't get to, go to restaurants or order pizzas or do any of those things that a lot of people get to do with their kids.
That's because as a single mother, Samantha's paycheck doesn't go far. She works 2 jobs so she can send her son to the Monroe County YMCA's Center for Children and Families. And each month, she pays as much for childcare as she does for rent.
It's really challenging. You want the best place for your child, obviously. Somewhere where he's going to have a good time, where he's going to learn, where he's going to be stimulated, and somewhere where he's safe. But then you compare that to the prices of the places that you're looking at, and it can become incredibly challenging to choose a place that you can not only afford, but that's also going to be good for your child.
Women across the state are facing the same challenge as daycare becomes increasingly expensive. According to the Census Bureau, childcare costs for working mothers rose more than 70% nationwide from 1985 to 2011.
Childcare for some families can be the number one biggest thing that they spend their paychecks on. In many states, particularly if they have more than one child, they're spending more on childcare or early childhood programs than they are on their rent or their mortgage.
Okay, Aubrey, I think it's Hudson's turn.
At the Center for Children and Families, there's a waiting list for almost all ages. Director Jen Smallwood says running a high-quality program costs a lot of money, and centers often have no other choice but to pass some of their expenses onto parents.
The majority of the costs, probably 75 to 80% of the costs in early childhood programs, are staffing. Because as you can imagine, for a family who has 1 or 2 or 3 children, if you have 10 or 20 children in a classroom, and how many teachers you need to make sure that those children are safe, well cared for, and educated on top of that.
The high cost of those programs is forcing some families to get creative. A Pew Research Center report released earlier this year suggests a recent rise in the number of stay-at-home moms could be related to the rise in childcare expenses.
A lot of families will choose to find care with a grandparent or someone else who's watching a child, and a lot of times some people will call me looking for financial assistance because they don't want their child to be sitting at home watching TV all day when they could be engaged in all kinds of different developmental activities.
The state does provide assistance through its Child Care Development Fund. Vouchers subsidize the cost of care while parents are working or going to school. But families have to meet certain criteria to qualify. The state looks at household income and the size of each family. Only those living at up to 127% of the federal poverty line, or $30,289 per year for a family of 4, can take advantage of the funding.
The national research indicates that really up until about 200, maybe 250% of federal poverty, that child care can still be an unreasonable percentage of a family's income.
The demand for child care assistance in Indiana far outweighs the funding available. There's a wait list of about 10,000 eligible children in need of vouchers, and the longer they wait, the more grim the outcome for their families. In some cases, high child care costs prevent parents from breaking the cycle of poverty.
To be productive at work, you have to be secure that your child care is safe in meeting the needs of your child. If you're concerned about your child, you're not going to be productive at work, and it makes it difficult to hold a job if you don't have child care.
There's also this advantage within a high-quality child care program that children are really receiving this sort of caregiving, learning, and developmentally supportive environments that help them prepare for school, kindergarten readiness. And studies are very clear that the children who start kindergarten well prepared are set for a much greater chance of academic achievement, including 3rd grade reading level, graduation from high school, and the completion of college.
That's why Samantha sacrifices so much to send Jonas to a quality daycare. She dreams of a better life for her son.
I want him to be happy and healthy and smart and do well. And sadly, as a single mom, you see the statistics that doesn't happen a lot for our kids. So I think that that's part of why we sacrifice so much to get him into the right schools at 3, because it doesn't look so good for him. And so if I can get him in the right schools, if I can sacrifice to make things better for him, that's ideally what we want to do.
Experts say in order to break the cycle of poverty, state and federal governments need to provide more child care assistance to families. Melanie Brizzi with the state's Early Learning Division says her office spends about $190 million a year on child care assistance. Most of that is federal funding, which has remained stagnant for several years. But last year, her office did receive some additional money at the state level from the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families program, which allowed them to help some more kids. Joe?
Thanks, Barbara. This week marks the 10th anniversary of the film Kinsey. In the film, Liam Neeson stars as Alfred Kinsey, who founded the Institute for Sex Research at Indiana University in 1947. It was later renamed the Kinsey Institute for Research in Sex, Gender, and Reproduction. A panel of experts from the Kinsey Institute gathered yesterday ahead of a screening of a film to discuss what they say is Kinsey's legacy.
Well, to my mind, the legacy, and everybody has a different opinion, is the respect for variation of the human experience and understanding that there is not one way of being, there is not one look. We all have different bodies, we all have different attractions, we are different.
Researchers at the Kinsey Institute say the film has also done a lot to explain Kinsey's work to the public. And of course, Barbara, the Institute is still here on campus. They have tours and are open throughout the week.
Right, and rotating exhibits, so go check it out.
And that's the end of this program, but our work continues online as we cover the news in Southern Indiana throughout the week at WTIUnews.org. Have a great weekend.
Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by the following: Indiana University's Center for Applied Cybersecurity Research, presenting Security Matters with tips for improving online security in 3 minutes or less. Main Source Bank, headquartered in Greensburg, Indiana, offering products and services to fit every stage of life. More information at mainsourcebank.com. Main Source, life needs a great bank. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Smithville Communications, serving Southern Indiana with high-speed fiber gigabit internet. Smithville Fiber Gigabit Technology. Tap the power.
And by WTIU members. Thank you.